All right. Well, hi everybody. I'm Marloma. I am the lead singer of a sad girl pop rock indie band from Phoenix, Arizona, and I just came out with a radio edit of one of our fan favorite alternative rock ballads, Winter Autopilot, and released a music video for it. So
Heck
I'm very
yeah.
excited.
It's really I'll have to say it is really beautiful.
Thank you.
I like what you did with the music video. It's all blue. I really like that. 'Cause it's winter, so it's blue and it's also sad, so you got that color blue with it
Right.
as well. Um, I like how you have the childlike wonders into it as well with like, the toy plane, the
hmm
snow globe. It definitely gave that like childlike wonders, even though you are an adult, but you can totally tell it's for all ages as well. So I just like the connection there with that.
I
Um,
am someone who hangs on to all of her stuffed animals, so totally. And yeah, the blue is stepping a little bit outside of my regular
yes.
green for everything. But funny enough, I just learned that blue is actually a color that brands use a lot to establish trust. It like apparently makes people psychologically more intrigued and like more inclined to trust you. So that's interesting. But
Interesting.
that's not what I was thinking about.
I've never
Yeah.
heard that before, but good to know.
If you ever want to start a company, I guess make your logo blue.
I mean, my school colors is blue, so that helps.
I mean, do you trust your school?
Yeah, it's questionable.
All right, all right. Well, upon first viewing, I guess hopefully would be the impression. But
Yes, obviously.
anyways, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I will tell you what my friend reviewed it as.
Please, I would love to know.
So my friend said, I love how the music was put together with the song itself. The part where the singer and the band were playing together in the song make it feel like a tiny desk live stage play. Um,
Mm,
she said she
like
also
that.
loves how the somber the song was all, and it just really matched the theme of the melancholic winter that it was giving off.
Yay! I'm so glad that came across. What a wonderful statement.
So, following up along with that, I do have a question. What
Yeah.
so what is the overall message? I kind of understood a little bit like, that winter or holiday seasonal depression. That's what I'm getting off of
hmm
it, but what is your overall message for the song?
So yeah, totally. It's a song about seasonal depression, so 100%. But the entire thing is kind of an extended metaphor that personifies seasonal depression as a man, which I mean, it's bad when I have to
Yeah.
compare it to like a
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
taking
of
over.
course.
He's essentially the way I describe it is the Winter Autopilot is a physical like embodiment. Like he's a guy who comes and just like takes over your brains for like 3 months of the year
Hmm.
and just makes you like all of the symptoms of depression that makes you unable to get out of bed, that makes you just like a
Hmm.
shell of a human being, and for the other 9 months of the year he's still like shoved out and present and stuff, but he's not the one in control. He's not the one flying the plane that is your brain. He's there, but he's not in control. And then those 3 months come by, and the Marloma goes to the back, and this guy comes to the front, and he's just kind of fucking with my whole situation I got going on. Like I got stuff to do, but I like God, I just hate getting up in the morning. So it's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
the way I kind of describe it. So, and it's also it kind of gives me something to blame for how my behavior changes when it gets colder outside. It's like hey, it's not me, it's Brad. That's the one doing all this like shitty stuff and being lazy. It's not my fault.
I
But
swear it's not my
um
fault.
I swear it's my Winter Autopilot Brad. He it's his fault. I can blame him for all of that. But yeah, there's one lyric that I kind of felt like goes along with this quote that a lot of artists use, where they say, good art aims to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. And I remember playing this lyric for my band, and they were all kind of like, that's like, that just doesn't sit right. And I was like, that's why I want to put it in.
You're
And the
like, I
lyric
want to
is,
make you uncomfortable.
right, that is the point. You should be uncomfortable. And if you feel the same way as I do, you should feel comforted by how
Yeah.
upsetting this is. But the lyric is, I carry him for 9 months like a child.
Hmm.
And it's like, it's just a weird descriptor to describe your
Yeah,
depression
but
as
it
like
works.
something you're pregnant with. But yeah, but it's like, it's not like something that's easy to listen to.
Yeah.
It's kind of something that you're like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Like you
why'd you say
said,
that?
like you said with your music, you like to, help make people feel comfortable. And I've realized that with all of your music, even though it's like dark and like it really hits the listener in their heart because maybe they've experienced the same situation you have. I agree. Like sometimes I'm just like, wait, did I hear that correctly? And I have to like double check.
That is so sweet. You've always been so supportive and listened to every song that came out. I just so appreciate that about you.
I try. I really do. I gotta appreciate my friends and especially the friends that has a really amazing talent. Like I love it.
Mm. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Um,
I mean, definitely lyrically. I wrote it for a class that I don't even remember what the assignment was. I think it was something about prosody where you tried to make the music like personify what the words were saying. Where like if you say the word high, then the note goes high and it kind of like subconsciously registers for people that,
yeah,
you know, it just hits a little bit deeper. But musically, I was in my classical piano era, like really, really deep into that. That's why there's that long piano solo and everything. And then everyone else in the band kind of took their backgrounds. We had some punk people, we had some rock people, we had some
yeah,
pop people, some indie acoustic, choir, folk stuff, and it all just became this genre melting pot of insanity. And that's why the original version ended up being almost 5 minutes long, which is why we released
yeah.
the radio edit. That's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. About cut it in half, make it an easier listen for those who are like, come on, girl, 5 minutes. Like,
I was about to
so,
ask that question. What made you decide to make
yeah.
that radio edit? Because I was actually very surprised when you sent me that. I was like, wow, you're making a radio edit? I was like, what's different about it? I'm like, I guess I'll see.
Right. I mean, it's not an explicit song, so I didn't have to take out any
Oh
curse words or
yeah.
anything, but I did want to shorten it. And for the sake of the music video, which I can get into in a minute, I told you I had an interesting anecdote about that, and that kind
Yes.
of ties
Please do
into
tell.
why we released it with the radio edit. Yeah. Well, okay, sure. So we always planned on doing a radio edit because this was just like a really fun project for everyone to dip their toes into, which is why it ended up being so large. But so we always planned on doing a radio edit where we could,
Mm.
shorten the song, make it an easier listen than all of this like weird. I'd had it compared to Pink Floyd at one point, which honestly made me really happy we released the full version. I was like, that's like the best compliment I've ever
Yeah,
gotten.
I
But
can see it.
yeah,
I
I
can
still
see it
wanted to.
actually.
Oh, thank you. I still wanted to give people something that was like an easy song to put on and like a version like that. But we ended up releasing the music video with the radio edit because we filmed this back in January. It's
Oh
November
dang.
now, and we had these really cool big ideas about the snow globe being like a way bigger part of the music video. Like originally the music video was going to do what the cycle of the song does, where it shows, the beginning of the video, the beginning of the song is kind of like fall time coming into winter. Then we get to verse one, we're in winter. By the end, we're coming out into spring, and it's kind of the question is like, will you miss me this time around the year? Like as my winter autopilot starts to go away, it's like, where are you going? Where will you be? I know I'll see you again, but like, just a lot of these questions that indicate we're going into spring now. So that was the original concept for the music video, and we wanted to do like a whole green screen situation where we are inside the snow globe, and we filmed all of it, like the band inside a snow globe, green screen, did a whole day just for this, and I got the product back in like April. And it was the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, we looked like paper dolls. I was mortified. I cried the first time I watched this. It's funny now, but I was literally like, this is such a deep and meaningful song to me, and you're gonna have me sitting here looking like a clown. Like, oh my
Oh
god, I
yeah, I
was
feel that.
the the rest of the band hasn't even seen that version because I was like, I literally just can't. I think I'll break down if I show it to you. Like, so we ended up talking with the editor and trying to rework some of the stuff, and we figured, if we cut out all of the scenes that look insane and hilarious,
Yeah.
like they belong in like I don't know, like an '80s cartoon, then we could do it to the radio edit, have half the shots there because half the shots were as scenic and beautiful as the thing that you see put out today, and I
Yeah.
was like, I love all of those. So if we chop the song in half, chop the video in half, we don't have to go redo this whole thing,
Hmm.
so and I'm happy with the way we were able to put it together and turn out. I think it still comes across since we cut the whole intro as like winter to spring, even though fall's not involved anymore. So
It
but
would have
yeah,
been a
that
good
was
teaser to have that as a teaser rather than part of the music video.
that's true. That could have been cool, but I cannot stress to you enough how much like have you ever just watched a video and been like, yeah, that's probably a green screen. It was
Yeah.
that, but it was Oh, that's definitely a green screen, and they forgot to cut some of the green out, and why do they look 2D, and they're in different, like, color schemes than the
Yeah, I can
background.
understand why you
Like,
didn't do that.
so I was just like, this we I loved the idea, but when I saw it executed, I was like, this just isn't right. So, but I loved all the other stuff, and we made it faster cuts, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, originally it didn't go according to plan. I was very hopeful music video wise, and I learned you have to pivot a lot with the
Yes.
visuals.
I was about to say, I've made a music video for one of my classes as well, so it definitely helped
Oh yeah.
knowing how to construct a music video or somewhat know how
Right.
to make a story along with it. One thing I
Yeah.
realized while watching yours, I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, okay, I wonder where this is going to go because I'm like, if you're going to be in the bed the whole time, how is this going to work? And I'm glad
Right.
I
Yeah.
was glad you had your band in there because it added the
Hmm.
layers to it. And I thought of the band as of more like the voices in your head rather than just your band. Like, sure,
I love
like
that.
they are the members of your
Right.
band, but it also felt like these are the voices in your head because they were singing along with you, playing along with you. So it really helped just compact with this one deep story. And I don't know how my brain came up with it, but I'm like, you know what? I like that
Oh
idea.
yeah. I love that interpretation of it. I mean, obviously, thinking about like a storyline, like if I'm just a depressed person in my room, an entire band isn't just going to show up on my bed and start playing the song I'm envisioning. That's not realistic. But when I was thinking of that scene, I kind of thought of it as like almost the healing power of music, where it makes you
Yes.
feel like you're not alone. If you're in your bed listening to music, it almost feels like the things you're going through aren't solo anymore, and there are other people out there who are feeling the same thing. But I like your interpretation a lot too, because that's also a big part of mental health. Are these there's a lot going on,
Yes.
panning wise. There's someone in your ear in the song saying it over here, there's a different voice saying it over here. If you listen to it with headphones, you'll hear the voices going back and forth, which, I mean, that's just a it's an interesting little Easter egg.
My last question for
Right.
you would be, what was the process like making the music video? You kind of already pointed out, but uh, if you would like to walk through some of the strengths and struggles you went through and what you've learned through the process of making this music video.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like I had talked to you about, I learned a lot about making music videos.
Hmm.
We're releasing 3 by the end of this year. 2 of them are already out. I remember I learned this also. Winter Autopilot was actually the first music video that I had made with, like, another person, that it wasn't just me recording and editing,
Yeah.
that I had another person involved. His name was Josh Montag. He's incredible. He did so much work. He did it all by himself. The footage was so professional and so high quality, and I was just so impressed with his dedication. He would constantly be making any modifications we wanted, and he worked on it literally from like January to October. So,
Damn. Bro's
obviously
pushing
to
through.
pivot a lot, like I said. Yeah. So that was my first experience where things didn't go exactly according to plan, and I had to kind of change the storyline, or make some creative edits. And I learned that too filming my second music video with the crew, which was Three Wishes. I had this really badass like head kick, and
Yeah.
and it looked really good in person. They were all like, "Yes, that was awesome." And then on the camera, it just looked fake. It didn't look real. So we had to cut that, and we were all like, I mean, kind of sucks because that was a huge point in the video. But yeah, now I've going into filming my third music video in a couple weeks here. I
Ooh, good
can
luck.
go in with the knowledge that, thank you, that things aren't going to go according to plan,
Hmm?
and I need to be willing to have some flexibility. That's probably the biggest thing I learned filming the video, but overall it was really fun. We did it all in my apartment. I had all my bandmates over, and it kind of felt like one big friend hangout. I put out like snacks on the counter, trays of snacks, and anytime we were filming solo scenes, the rest of us were just giggling, jamming on our instruments, and it's always a good time just to hang out with the band.
Obviously, I was about to say, it looked like you guys had a lot of fun. I saw you whipped out your Minecraft Uno card, so obviously you had fun.
Yeah, we were all trying to figure out something to do to keep us busy on the couch there, and they were having so much fun just going through like my closet, all my trinkets. Like I said, I keep a lot of stuffed animals and like vinyls and books, and like so they had like a Five Nights at Freddy's comic book, and it was just like all of these random things. So yeah, as melancholy as the video is, I was having a lot of fun with it.
I completely get the room always being like everyone's always going through my crap in my room, and especially because I do have a lot of stuff. Like literally to the right of me, I have the whole collection of Scott Pilgrim.
Oh my god, fire.
So people are
Love
always
it.
going through like everything of mine, so I completely understand having that
Life of a
ability.
trinket owner,
For real.
When you own a lot of trinkets, you just accept that as part of it.
Um, let's see here. What was I gonna say? I was about to say when I saw the Minecraft Uno cards, I couldn't tell if that was just a, like just a throw up in the air of like, this is the Easter egg. I've done a Minecraft song.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I'm so glad you got that because that is weirdly a 10-minute Minecraft parody is my most streamed song. I think it
That
has
is
like
crazy.
75,000 streams right now.
Hey, listen,
Like
just
a 10-minute
because
song.
hey, I might have helped with that one.
And maybe if I have a 10-minute song people are willing to listen to that much, maybe I didn't need a radio edit after all. But hey, I wanted to do one. So
I mean, it definitely broadens up your viewership though, making an edit
yeah,
for radio and radio listeners, and it definitely helps with
right.
that.
I also really like the cover art for that. I had
Yes.
taken like a photo editing class, and I was able to kind of blend some of the blues with a little more green to make that more cohesive on my Spotify. I love the keyboard, the sparkle from the like autopilot hat goggle coming off, and the like my highlight
It looked
in
really
the streak
good.
of highlight is so prominent. Thank you. I really like that picture, so I'm glad I could do another version.
I'm glad you got to do it too, because honestly, as like I mentioned before, it was very shocking that you sent me the pretty much demo. I don't even want to say demo, but like, the early access. There you go, the early access to the
Yeah,
song. And I was like, you know
of
what? I did
course.
not expect that at all.
Of course. I mean, I'm happy to if you're interested in it, I'm
Obviously,
not
I am.
gonna
I'm more than willing. Well, more than happy to be interested. Say
Yay.
it was your
All right,
second time doing
awesome.
it, anyways.
Right, that's true. This is true.
So the question my friend asked is, uh, why the title song "Winter Autopilot"? You kind of already went over that, but you can more than welcome feel free to re-answer that if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess coming up with the concept for the song, I think actually I came up with the title as part of the assignment before I wrote the song, which is something I never usually do. Usually my process involves just sitting down at an instrument and the lyrics and music come out all at once. And once I have like a voice memo of it, I'll listen back and be like, oh, that's what's been on my mind lately. Like I'm not self aware enough at all to be like, to sit down and be like, I want to write a song about the fact that I'm feeling depressed 3 months of every year. Like, ridiculously. I don't sit down with the intention of that. I just kind of let my mind and my body take over for the process of songwriting. But I actually did come up with the title of this one, and it was because in other songs that I hadn't released, I had described the feeling of going on autopilot, what it sort of felt like. And I didn't realize the pattern of it happening during the same 3 months every year, but I could remember being at school when it was cold outside every year and literally feeling like the functions of my body were kind of running themselves, and I didn't have a conscious say in what was going on. I would just walk to each class, I'd go home, I'd do my homework and interact with people, but none of it felt real. It felt like just a subconscious taking over and making me do the things that I had to do, but I wasn't really present in my body for those moments. So that concept of being on autopilot allowed me to kind of recognize the pattern that this happens every single year. And obviously it happens during the winter. So when I had the song title Winter Autopilot, I liked the idea of that being like a physical entity I could blame for this happening. Being like, well, it's my winter autopilot. He's coming around. And actually, there are a lot of funny little anecdotes about this song, even though it's so serious. But John Curtis Sanchez, our guitarist and producer, he produced the entire song by himself, with my help a little bit, of course, but by himself. And he named our session WAP, like WAP, like abbreviated it like that. And I was
I bet you're
like,
like,
what is
no.
WAP? Well, I actually saw it on his computer when we didn't have it open. I was like, what is that? Are you doing like a remix for Megan Thee Stallion
Yeah,
or
for
something? And he
real.
was like, it's Winter Autopilot. And I was like, no fucking way. Are you serious right now? So now that's another inside joke with the band where we call it WAP. And it's like, It's just funny because it's the most opposite of
Of WAP.
the
Yeah.
WAP song we all know and love. It's like about this like horrible mental health issue, and it's so I just thought it was a funny juxtaposition.
Damn. I was about to say that is. I would have been
I
like
know, right?
I would have been like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you making a cover of that song?
I thought it was the funniest thing ever in the moment, though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The next question is how long did it take you for you to make this song, and what initial moment inspired you to make this song?
It was for my songwriting class where we were doing something specific. I can't remember exactly what, but it ended up falling into that really well. And I had to present it to my class, and they all really liked it. I hadn't gotten a response like that for, a song that I had written in quite some time. So I
Yeah.
thought this is something that'll stick. I remember bringing it to John, and he was like, "Absolutely, we need to build on this." Like, for sure. And he's the type of person, I love this so much about him. He will never lie to me. He does not say that with every one of my songs. Sometimes he's like, "That's beautiful, but that's not the best thing I've heard from you, for sure." Like,
He's
And
like, you could do
so
better.
anytime he is like, right, anytime he's like, "Yes, I know he's
Yeah.
taking this seriously." Like, he's never just gonna like butter me up for no
I mean, there's no
reason.
reason to beat around the
So
bush.
no, but a lot of people do, and I'm even guilty of it. That's why I admire it so much in him, is
Yeah.
because like I am inclined to just be like, "Wow, that's amazing," even if it's just good.
Yeah. I
So
feel that
I don't know, but I'm working on it.
yeah,
But
I'm the same way.
yeah,
I struggle with doing that, and it's just like, wait a minute, I'm a professional. I gotta critique.
let
I
me
got
be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
But he thought this one was really good. So I brought it to the band, and we would have weekly rehearsals where we'd work on our 40-minute to an hour set list, and we'd run it twice. But for one entire month, we worked on this song only. For 2 hours every single week, we would be locked in to just composing around this song. Like, writing the drummer's part, working around the piano solo, like making it fit in. The girls coming up with harmonies, the guitar solo, the heavy rock build, all of that took a long time to really lock in. And I remember we had a performance. It was on one of the biggest stages we had performed at. It was last March, or maybe March. It was March of 2023, I think. And we were like last to go on. It was really, really dark at night. And I still remember people talking about that performance because we just played that one song. But like, people will still come up to me to this day and be like, "I saw you at that performance." And like, I remember thinking that's what music is supposed to be. And everyone was so locked in. And I was like, it really paid off to work on that song like tirelessly,
yeah.
only focusing on nothing else for the entire month, because it ended up being like one of the performances I'm the most proud of.
I was about to say all that hard work had to been hard to focus 2 hours every week too, especially with just your outside life of school itself and your job on top of work. Making music is just hard enough trying to make space for that, and then obviously you're
Yeah.
trying to contact everyone on your phone, and it
Right?
adds up at the end of the day.
It definitely does. I'm feeling that right now, but at the time, I think everyone was so locked in and fascinated by the song because they all got to compose their own parts, which is what made it so cool in the end. That it's this melting pot of everyone's inspirations and everyone's like upbringings with
I was about to
music.
say, I bet you definitely feel all of everybody's hard work that's being put in. So it, I say you didn't feel like you had to pick up someone else, and
Right. The song would never be what it is if it was just me and the piano. They added so much more than I could have ever comprehended.
lastly, in the music video, you had a very interesting hat worn on the beginning of the video. Where'd you find it, and where can you get it?
So actually, I sadly found it on Amazon. I'm so sorry to contribute to Amazon, but it was just a costume hat. I managed to find one for adults, and I got it in like an olive green color because, of course, that
You
is
had to
like
get
the
green
brand
for
color.
your
We do a
yeah.
lot of green, and it came with the goggles though. It was a good deal. I
I
think
was,
it was like around
that's
$20.
not bad at all.
So not at all, especially for how much use I've gotten out of it.
Yeah,
Like
for real.
that thing has been worn to death.
It has blood, sweat, and tears all in it.
And I have always said that. I think it's in my closet. I bet I could find it real quick. But it's my closet is a disaster. So maybe I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
got it on Amazon. And it was worth every damn penny.
I bet it was. I bet you wore it at some points and you forgot that you even had it on your head.
I did. I think everyone wanted to try it on when we were filming the music video. At one point, it was on every single person's head because they were just like, where do you find something like this?"
That is true. You don't really see many hats exactly like that either.
You don't see many of those hats, even though they're very easily accessible on
Oh, for
Amazon.
sure, for sure. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for giving me early access to the song and letting me listen to it before the music video came out. I've already listened to it at least a handful of
Oh,
times before the music video came out.
no. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy that you're intrigued enough to ask these
Yeah,
questions,
of
and I
course.
hope we can do it again for the next
Of
release.
course, I got you. I got your back. If you ever
Yay!
want to send the music video early, you can. Obviously, no pressure if not, because I know how busy you are and I
I'd be happy
understand
to.
with all that stuff. I completely understand.
I would be absolutely happy to. There's a lot of new releases coming from Marloma, so I'll let you know.